problems. So if we get cut off, I'll just call you right back.
Oh, I just lost your picture. Okay, there you are.
Yeah, it goes back and forth, and I think we're recording now. So hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Smith, and this is my favorite horror with co-author of The Final Gate, author of Try Again, whoops, and many other things. It's Wesley Southard.
How's it going, guys?
All right, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. You are completely frozen.
Oh, crap.
I can hear you perfectly fine, but you're just sort of sitting there frozen, looking straight at me with dead eyes.
I'm bobbing back and forth now. Let's see if it comes up.
Well, I think we'll chat. We'll see what happens with the video.
All right.
So I warned you on Facebook that this was gonna happen. So I gotta know right off the bat, what's your beef with Moon Knight?
Oh God, it's not good. It's honestly the storytelling on this particular show is really leaves something to be desired. I am about as big of an MCU nerd as you're gonna find. I've been watching it since the beginning. I love it so much. I mean, I know it sounds I don't know. I know it's getting kind of a bad rap these days. People are getting kind of tired of it and worn out by the whole thing. But honestly, I still love every movie and every show that comes out. It's just I enjoy the hell out of it. But Moon Knight, I've been told for years what a cool character this is and how much people love him, and he's kind of like that cult figure in Marvel that people are just obsessed with. And from the get-go, I have not been impressed by this show in the least. And I don't think it has anything to do with Oscar Isaac. I think he's been great. He's a great actor. He's doing a great job on the show. I think the villain is boring as hell. I honestly, almost 6 episodes in, I'm going to watch the final one tonight with my wife. I don't even know the villain's name, other than his name is Ethan Hawke. I don't know what the character's name is. I barely know. I actually can't even think of what Mark Spector's wife's name is on the show. Like, everybody's so blah on the show. You've seen Moon Knight itself maybe 2 minutes out of almost 6 hours of show. I don't know. It's just the whole show is really super confusing to me. And I know it sounds lame, but I don't know. I'm not enjoying it at all. Like, I'm just bored. Like, last week's episode wasn't bad. It was a better one than the last four, but I don't know. This show is just not doing it for me. And I don't know how they're going to manage to wrap this up in 45 minutes on this week's episode. Like, if that's what they're going to do, then I'm ready for it to be over. I don't know.
I watched the last episode before work this morning, and I've loved the show. But I do think they try to do too much in that last 45 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I honestly, Loki was probably my least favorite MCU show before this. I'm not a Loki fan. I'm over that character. We've had him for like 12, 13 years now at this point. I'm bored of him. The show itself was fine, but even though I know there's going to be a second season, like, I'm not that into it. Like, I'm going to watch it obviously, but it's just like my least favorite character at this point. I still think that Falcon and Winter Soldier was the best MCU show, like, on Disney Plus so far. I thought that show was phenomenal. It was so good. And like, everybody keeps talking about how that's like the worst one, and I don't understand that. I thought that show was fantastic.
Yeah, I hear. Well, that, and I know people that didn't think Hawkeye was that great.
I liked Hawkeye quite a bit, actually. I thought there was a lot of depth in that character with the fact that, like, it really showed how human he was, that he was having health issues, that he was having ear problems, that he had to wear hearing aids because he had been so fucked up from all these battles. And I thought that was really interesting. And I liked Kate Bishop okay. She was fine. I'm sure she's going to grow on me more. But I thought the show was excellent. I thought there was a lot of fun little Easter eggs and stuff. I thought when he pulled out the arrow with the PIM particles on the end of it when they were on the bridge, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be awesome. Yeah, that was a really, really cool moment. But yeah, I thought Hawkeye was fantastic. I really enjoyed that one a lot. But yeah, I am just not digging Moon Knight at all. I don't know. I really, really wish I did, because I apparently I'm not seeing what everyone else is seeing, but I've also talked to a couple of really hardcore Moon Knight fans, like just behind the scenes, and man, they are not impressed by this show either. Like they are not digging it whatsoever.
Well, I could see now. I'm a hardcore. I think a hardcore Moon Knight fan. I have pretty much every Moon Knight comic there is. I've got the omnibus. I've got a ton of trade paperbacks, ton of monthly issues. And I could see where some people might not like the changes that they made, especially to Stephen Grant.
Yeah.
But I don't mind that. They've got to make the show a certain way, I guess.
Yeah.
There are, they made a choice for the story they were going to tell, I suppose. I've enjoyed it, but then again, I've been looking forward to this so much.
Yeah.
My nephew, who knows nothing about Moon Knight, says it's his favorite of the Disney Plus shows.
See, that's crazy, because like we've seen even despite like as putting Oscar Isaac aside, and the characters plural that he's playing,
Yes.
like there's been so little of the titular character on the show. I mean, he has quite literally been on the screen for less than 2 minutes of almost 6 full hours of show. Like that's wild. Now I know a lot of people complained about like Iron Man 3, there wasn't enough Iron Man in that movie, but there was still more Iron Man in that movie than there's been Moon Knight in Moon Knight. So I don't know. I'm not enjoying the show. I really badly wish I was, and I hope that I'm sure he'll show up in future movies and future projects and stuff, and I hope he does, because he looks cool. Like I love the outfit and stuff, but I hope they do something more with him eventually, because so far this series has kind of just been a snooze to me. But I don't know.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear when people don't enjoy something
Yeah.
that they've invested their time in.
Yeah. You can't win them all.
No. And maybe I'm just easier to please.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed all of the Disney Plus shows, Marvel shows. I loved Hawkeye, but I'm a big Haley Steinfeld fan.
Yeah.
I like the character Kate Bishop, and I love Florence Pugh.
Yeah, I loved when she showed up on it. I knew she was going to, but she was great on there. I loved her in Black Widow. She was fantastic. Which, by the way, man, you want to talk about bad MCU stuff? I don't care what anybody says. Everybody keeps talking about how Thor: The Dark World is the worst MCU movie. Not even close. If they say that, they haven't seen Eternals. Man, Eternals was so bad. I was watching that movie in the theater. Halfway through, I was turning to my wife. I was like, "Is this over yet? Like, this is so brutally terrible."
Excuse me. I didn't hate it.
Man.
See, my least favorite is Incredible Hulk.
Same here. It was before Eternals. That's the only MCU movie I don't own is Incredible Hulk, because I just don't care. I don't care to own it. I just don't. But man, I haven't even bought Eternals. I have all the movies downstairs on either Blu-ray or 4K, and I won't even buy Eternals. It was so bad.
I bought Eternals to see it. So I didn't get to see it in the theater. So I bought it when it came out.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it well enough. I wouldn't put it in my favorites, but I wouldn't put it at the bottom. Like I said, that would be Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2.
See, everybody hates on Iron Man 2. I don't hate that movie nearly as much as everybody else does. I enjoyed that one. In fact, I can't. I'm looking forward to seeing Justin Hammer come back on Armor Wars.
I'm looking forward to Armor Wars.
Yeah.
That was I loved that storyline. For the longest time, Iron Man was my favorite comic book character ever.
Yeah.
I had that was the book that I actively was collecting every single issue that I could find. I had Tales of Suspense. I didn't have his first appearance, but I had like first appearance of Hawkeye and a bunch of the Tales of Suspense stuff. Tons. from Iron Man 1 to 200, I was only missing like 17 issues out of those 200. So I was super excited for the first Iron Man movie. I hated Whiplash in Iron Man 2. And but I loved the Armor Wars storyline, the original in the comics. So I'm looking forward to what they do in the series.
Yeah.
Thor: The Dark World, not a huge fan. It's not the worst.
I don't understand people's hate for that movie. It's not nearly as bad as everybody makes it out to be. It really isn't.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
And Black Widow is, to me, Florence Pugh and David Harbour were the best part of that movie.
Yeah. I mean, I really liked it a lot. But then again, we also didn't have an MCU movie for like a year and a half. So.
And I'm a huge fan of Taskmaster.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed in how Taskmaster was used in that movie, but I didn't hate it.
It was kind of the bait. It was kind of like the bait. It was kind of the bait and switch, like what they did with Mandarin, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Although I'd say Mandarin really took that prize. But I didn't hate that.
Yeah, I didn't either. Again, I'm not a comic guy. I don't read comic books. I never grew up reading them. The only ones I ever owned were like Alien versus Predator comics. And it's because it had xenomorphs and predators in it, and I was obsessed with them. And I'm still, at 35 years old, I'm still obsessed with the xenomorphs and predators. But I've just never been a comic guy. But yeah, just the MCU though is just like, it's just so good. Like I love all of it except for a couple of things.
Well, I can tell you right now, 24 hours from this moment that we're recording, not when people are watching this.
Oh yeah.
But 24 hours from this moment, I will be 45 minutes into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Same here. I got tickets for 6:30 tomorrow.
Ours is 5:30.
Yep. I can't wait.
So, yeah, I'm very excited for that. And the new Marvel previews that just came out last week has the first issue of the new Predator series.
Oh, there's a new Predator series?
Yeah. It was delayed. They had announced it a year ago, 2 years ago, and it got delayed for whatever reason. But so it's finally coming out, since Marvel owns Fox, or Disney owns all that stuff. They've had an ongoing Alien series. Now they're doing Predator, and they're going to have a bunch of variant covers. So if you get Captain America, you can get the variant with Cap versus a Predator.
Yeah.
Spider-Man versus a Predator. So
I'm really curious to see what that Hulu Predator movie is going to be like. I think it's called Prey.
Prey, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Man, those last two Predator movies are so fucking abysmally bad. Predators and The Predator. Whew.
See, I've heard people like Predators.
A lot of people like Predators. I did not particularly care for it. I liked that they kind of shot for the moon with that movie. Yeah, I don't know. I was not a fan, but I found that one infinitely more tolerable than The Predator. The Predator is, holy shit, that movie is fucking atrocious.
I was so excited for that because new Predator movie and Shane Black.
Yeah.
Generally, I really dig Shane Black's stuff. And then I've never even seen it because I've never heard anyone say anything good about it.
Don't. Absolutely don't. The twist of the movie is so laughably, hilariously bad that it's going to make you like, it's a head scratcher for the last like 4 or 5 years since it came out. I've just been like, what the hell were they thinking? I don't know. I even heard that Shane Black didn't even go to the premiere of the movie. Apparently, he was like, he wouldn't leave his hotel room or something because he was so upset by like what they did with the cut of his movie and like what it ended up becoming. He was so upset by it he wouldn't even go to the premiere. I was like, I don't fucking blame him. I wish I didn't see it.
Yeah, I've heard
it was bad.
Studio interference.
And you'd think the studios would learn at this point. Honestly, the studios have such a notorious reputation for fucking up movies. You would think that like they would just step back eventually and go, you know what? I know we're investing a lot of money in this, but like this guy kind of knows better for the most part. So let's at least let this person do their thing. And more often than not, it works. Sometimes it doesn't, but more often than not, it does work. And it's just, I don't get the studio interference at all. It always ends up fucking everything up, and I don't get it.
I assume you're hiring Shane Black because you want a Shane Black movie.
Yeah.
Let him make his movie.
Exactly.
I don't know. I am very excited for a lot of the Alien novels that have been announced.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna talk about the series, but yeah, I guess technically it was already announced, but yeah, Mary Sangiovanni just finished hers up. She's been talking about that behind the scenes with us for a long time. I know a good deal about what it's about, but then I saw V. Castro has hers coming out, the one about Vasquez, which I'm still really curious about the story of that one. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of them coming out. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of them on my wish list to remind me when they come out to get them. I'm just staring over here at my giant piles of books. I just recently got the Alien versus Predator Anthology.
Okay.
Ultimate Prey. And I hopefully it doesn't have the issues that the first Alien anthology had.
Oh, Bug Hunt?
Yeah.
Ooh, boy. I don't own that book, but I have seen a physical copy of it, and I have seen the issues in it. I can't believe that went out to press the way it was done. Like I'm stunned considering like the publisher that put that out with it, like Titan, I think.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's
and I don't know if there are, if the later print runs fixed all that.
I have no idea.
But I kind of like having the copy that I have.
Yeah.
Despite those issues, because of those issues, it's kind of like, hey, look, I got this thing that actually has editor's notes in the middle of the story.
It's ridiculous. Oh man, I saw that. I had a friend show me that. I was like, I cannot believe this was in a book like this. Like that's wild. That is just wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I still went and got the Predator anthology that came out after that. If It Bleeds, I believe is what it's called.
Okay, yeah.
And then this one, AVP, is Ultimate Prey. And I just saw in the comic catalog another anthology that was coming out. I can't remember what it was now, but it was it was either the Aliens or the Predators, or maybe both. I don't recall. But yeah, I dig that stuff. I've got, I think, all of the newer Alien and Predator novels that have come out. I don't have the old stuff that's like based on the Dark Horse. Unfortunately, I wish I had those. And I could get the omnibus editions, but I'd rather find the old ones with the great cover art.
Yeah.
Excuse me. All right. Well. Oh, did you see? I assume you saw Spider-Man: No Way Home.
I own it, of course.
Okay. So, what were your thoughts on that? Since that's the last one I saw.
Loved it. I think the fact that it didn't have a working script really shows in the dialogue. It's my understanding that movie did not actually have a finished script. And once I knew that and I watched it again, I realized that, yeah, it feels like a lot of the dialogue is being made up on the spot. The dialogue is kind of the weak point of that movie, but that movie was excellent. It was fantastic. I got really choked up when Tobey Maguire first came on screen. That was my Spider-Man growing up, and seeing him again, it just brought me back 20 years prior. It was just fantastic. Not an Andrew Garfield guy. I don't like his movies. He's fine. I don't particularly like his movies too much. His two Spider-Man movies. In fact, I don't even think I actually saw the second one all the way through. I saw the first one and I was like, I'm good. But yeah, it was excellent movie. I couldn't wait to buy it and bring it home.
Yeah, I liked Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Wasn't a huge fan of his Peter Parker, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And his first one does have my favorite Spider-Man villain in it, the Lizard, but not enough of the Lizard wearing a lab coat for my taste.
Yeah.
And the moment they got me in No Way Home was when Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man saves MJ
Yeah.
and sort of, redeems himself, for lack of a better term, from being able to save his Gwen.
Right.
Um, and I was never a huge fan of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Super excited for the first movie, of course, because it's a live-action Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And loved Dr. Octopus in the second.
Oh man, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is one of the best superhero movies ever. That movie is phenomenal.
But Tobey Maguire himself just never thrilled me. And wasn't thrilled with Kirsten Dunst as MJ. But I Tom Holland I love as
yeah, Tom's great.
Just fantastic.
I didn't care for Zendaya like in the first movie, but I like how she's grown the last two movies quite a bit. So yeah, I like her a lot now. But like when the first movie, I was just like, she's so like just I don't know. I don't know. I didn't care for her character much, but yeah, I like her a lot now.
All right. Looking forward to any of the other Disney Plus Marvel shows? She-Hulk and Ms. Marvel and
I don't know anything about either of the characters, but obviously I'm going to watch them. But I think Miss Marvel looks okay. It looks kind of like a freeform show or something. But I mean, I'm still going to watch it. I'm sure it's still going to be good. It's got to be better than Moon Knight.
Yeah. Oh, what else is coming out? We mentioned man. Armor Wars, Secret
Thor.
Invasion.
Thor.
Oh, you know what I'm excited about is the Werewolf by Night Halloween special.
Oh yeah, I've had to text Brian Keene about that a couple of times. It's like I don't know what this is. He's had to tell me a few times. I still don't remember, but is it like a movie or is it just like an hour-long thing? Like what's it supposed to be?
I don't know what they're doing. All I know is it's Werewolf by Night, and they've I believe just recently cast one of my favorite characters, who is Elsa Bloodstone, who is a British monster hunter in the comics.
Okay.
And huge fan of that character. Last time I saw her was in the last Deadpool run. But there's a novel, an Elsa Bloodstone novel that I really enjoyed. So I was excited to hear that character was going to be in it. And then Marvel has Man-Thing. I don't know if you know Man-Thing at all.
I know the name Man-Thing.
Sort of Marvel's sort of version of Swamp Thing, but a much different character, but basically the same origin.
Yeah.
A swamp creature. I heard that Man-Thing might have a cameo. So I'm just excited for a Marvel horror.
Well, all the kind of Twitter reviews that I've seen of fucking Doctor Strange 2, I don't know why I'm Multiverse of Madness, it sounds like it is a pure Sam Raimi movie. That's what everybody's saying. They're like, this barely feels like an MCU movie. This is like a Sam Raimi movie. I was like, awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yes. More Sam Raimi, please.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. But no, I can't. I can't wait for Thor: Love and Thunder. I think that looks amazing.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to all of it.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, I know some people are getting tired of it, getting burned out. I'm not.
No.
I'm ready for all of it.
I still don't know what the hell they're going to be doing with Black Panther 2. I don't have the faintest clue what that's going to be like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I that's the one this year that I'm just like, I don't know. I wish I knew like what they were doing, but I guess it's just going to be a huge surprise, which is fine. I don't know. Just losing Chadwick Boseman is just that's a hard sell for me after that, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I know that Shuri in the comics has been Black Panther.
Yeah.
I don't see them doing that.
I don't either.
So
I'd be all right seeing M'Baku as Black Panther, but at the same time, like I don't know how they're. I mean, I know it's a movie and a comic. They're going to get around it, but like, I don't see how they're going to get around. Like, they burned that fire field, or the flower field or whatever that they had. So there was none left except the one that he took at the end of the first movie. So it's just like, all right, well, that's gone. How are you going to do this now? Like, I don't know.
They'll write off Black Panther somehow, but they'll have extracted his blood, and they'll figure out how to synthesize it through his blood. That's my guess.
That sounds bad.
Or my theory. That's my theory. I could be. I don't know. That was just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with that. Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
From talking about Marvel. I have here, I believe this is your latest.
Oh.
And if you can see that,
hold on. You have to repeat that. Sorry, you froze for a second.
Oh, try again.
Oh, yeah.
Your latest, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. Now, maybe it's just my impression, but this was sort of like a sneak attack release.
Yeah. So I obviously everybody knows that follows me knows that my wife and I had a baby in December, our first baby, and I have not been able to even get to my computer and write for, I'd say, close to 5 months now. I've barely been able to even open my computer any. My wife works kind of a weird like hybrid first, second shift job, and I work a first shift job, and I get off work at like 4:30 every day, but she doesn't get off till 6, 7, 8:30, sometimes 9 o'clock at night. So I had to pick up the baby after work, and when I get home, he wants to be held, and I have to play with him, and we're watching stuff, and I just don't have time to write anymore. Like, I'm trying to figure out a good writing schedule. I just don't have the time to write anymore. It sucks. But while she was still on maternity leave, I wanted to really have something done for Scares That Care AuthorCon at the beginning of April. And I just didn't have anything ready for that. And I wasn't going to have anything ready to put out this year until like October. And that kind of bummed me out. And my wife reminded me of this idea that she had given me like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. And I remember sitting watching TV, and she had brought it up. And I just was thinking about it, and I just started obsessively thinking about this idea. And I was like, shit, I wonder what I could do with this. Like, I wonder how quickly I could write this. And I just was going to be like, all right, I'm going to write this 10,000 word novelette and put this out. Well, 10,000 words became 18,000 words very quickly. And I was able to knock this whole thing out. Before Scares That Care AuthorCon. I was able to get Scott Cole to help me do the exterior and interior and get it, and I got it edited with my editors, and it came out very quickly. I love how it came out. I love the story. It was hard to write. It was harder to write than I thought it was going to be, because I had to make sure that it wasn't super repetitive, because it had the idea of it could have been extremely repetitive and annoying, and I had to make sure that it wasn't going to be that, and I hope it wasn't that, because I've been told it's not.
No.
But I'm very happy with the results of it, and I'm happy with the what people have said about it. People seem to enjoy it. I wish. I don't like just throwing new projects out there and just being like, hey, have at it. I like a build up. I like teasing and having a build up to new releases, but this one, I needed it out on a certain date, and by the time I got all the artwork done and the files, I had about 3 weeks until Scares That Care AuthorCon. And the way that KDP Amazon works is it takes sometimes about 3 weeks when you put your order in to get your copies. So I had to just throw it out there just to get my copies ordered and have them in time. And I didn't think I was going to have them in time. And the day before I left for Scares, they showed up on my doorstep, and I was so happy. But yeah, so that was kind of the whole release of that. It was just the idea of it. I remember a couple years ago, my wife was like, oh, I had this weird dream that would make a good story idea. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I hear that all the time from people. Authors hear that constantly. But she was telling me about how she came home one day, and she said she dreamt that she saw her father was getting attacked in the living room, and she said she tried to go through the front door, and every time she did, it would start over, and she would be looking through the front door again and trying to get into the house, and then it just kept starting over and over and over. And I was like, well, that's weird. And I thought about it for a long time, and I thought that would make a really good story idea, and then just kind of forgot about it for a long time until she mentioned it again. And then I just started obsessively thinking about it, and I was like, I could really do something with this. And so yeah, that's kind of the origin of that one.
Yeah, well, like I said, it it was like a sneak attack, because for those who follow you, generally, it was a lot of stuff about the baby
Yeah.
and some convention stuff, con appearances and things, and then all just like no mention of anything that I saw
Yeah.
of anything coming out, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, this book is out today,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's not my normal way of doing things, but I didn't really have a choice with this one.
well, I immediately jumped on it, and I love the cover,
Yeah.
very cool, and I like. I don't know if this is considered a spoiler. So, folks watching, this might be a little spoilery. I love time loop stories, um, which is an element,
Yeah.
and 'cause, like, I'm a fan of. Maybe we're gonna disagree again. I'm a fan of like Happy Death Day.
See, I've never actually seen that movie, but I know what it's about.
Happy Death Day to You. I like that kind of course, Groundhog Day. If you want to go with the one most people would probably know.
Yeah.
Um, but did you have to map out beforehand the route?
Yes, I actually did. So when I write anything from novel down to short story down to flash fiction, I outline everything. I am an outliner. I'm a plotter. I know that's not a very popular thing, and I talked about this on other podcasts. I talked about this with other friends that are writers, and I am in the extreme minority of authors that like to plot and outline. A lot of people just like to just pantsing. They just like to fly by the seat of their pants, and they just sit down and they kind of know where they're going to go, but they just start writing, and that's how they do it. And that's fine. That works for them. That doesn't work for me. I have a notebook that I carry around with me everywhere, and when I have free time, if I'm thinking about my project that I'm working on, I will outline chapter to chapter to chapter. Sometimes it changes when I actually sit down and write. A lot of times it doesn't. I like to get my thoughts in order. I like to get everything in order from beginning to end. That way, when I'm writing, all I have to do is look at my notes and go, okay, boom, 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 got it. And then I start going, and I don't have to overthink things. This one in particular, I did not have an outline whatsoever, which was very, very new to me. It was kind of scary, honestly. And I just figured this was going to be a 10,000 word novelette. And yeah, once I got about a halfway through it, I realized I do need to actually map this out a bit. Not necessarily an outline, but I need to like get my notebook open, and I need to like draw out where this person needs to go room to room to room. And there were times that I was having a lot of difficulty with that. But yeah, beforehand, I made sure. Wait a minute, did I freeze?